Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very interesting review. It's Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Now, as you can see, I have this janky little setup. I finally got my camera set up. I've been having problems with it all day. Spent about 4 hours trying to figure all this stuff out. It's been a day. It's currently 1:30 in the morning, so if this review seems all over the place, I apologize. But I saw it today at around 7 p.m. I've had time to sit with my thoughts, get my letterboxd review out. So let's sit here and get it out on YouTube. Transformers Rise of the Beasts, PG-13 this year, obviously, 2023 release. 2 hours, 7 minutes, 54% critic score, and a whopping 88% audience score. Returning to the action and spectacle that have captured moviegoers around the world, Transformers Rise of the Beasts will take audiences on a 90s globe-trotting adventure with the Autobots and introduce a whole new faction of Transformer, the Maximals, to the existing battle on Earth between Autobots and Decepticons. Now, coming fresh off the heels on what was possibly the best Transformers movie in Bumblebee, it was such a heartwarming movie, had a lot of heart to it, a great cast with Hailee Steinfeld complimenting Bumblebee as a person to robot comparison. They fit together so well in their chemistry, though Bumblebee is obviously a fully CGI character and doesn't speak in this movie. Actually was incredible. Now, Transformers Rise of the Beasts keeps that trend going. We have Anthony Ramos playing Noah Diaz, a big brother that is struggling to keep his family together. He has to be the man of the house and he has to look over his sick brother. It's constantly being contrasted and compared to Optimus Prime, who is also looking over his little brother in Bumblebee and is struggling to keep his family together as well. Both of our main characters find themselves intertwined in this world-ending plot that seems insane for anybody, any human, to be involved in. But Noah Diaz steps up to the plate, and this is such a ride. It's such a fun movie. Obviously, we have our corny little pieces, you know, our cheesy pieces of dialogue. We knew that was going to be a given. It's a trope in all of these big action movies. But what I love about this one is that while you do explore all of those tropes, while you do have these huge action sequences full of CGI that, you know, are beautiful, I'm not taking anything away from that. Even though you have all of these elements, you still have that underlying story of Noah Diaz and Optimus Prime being one and the same. And though most of the movie they don't see eye to eye, going on that adventure with them, seeing their relationship build and seeing them realize that they are a carbon copy of one another, though they might have different beliefs and though they might be going about this problem in completely different ways, they are still one and the same whether they like it or not. And seeing them go on this journey, seeing them utilize the human aspect of these movies, you're dealing with CGI robots that come from outer space. How is a human gonna play into this plot? Bumblebee seemed to master it. This movie does the same. And that's something that I could appreciate so much. It goes a long way. It takes it from being this big popcorn movie, this big popcorn action movie that you can just go get out of the house with your family and watch. It takes it from just being that to being a pretty good movie with a really good story to tell. And Bumblebee did that way better in my opinion. Rise of the Beast doesn't quite hit that potential. It doesn't break that threshold that Bumblebee has set, but you can still find yourself having a lot of fun. And I know that's a given. A lot of people are just gonna go to this movie just to have fun. And you know, this is one of those movies where your parents might be like, that was a great movie, you know? And so you could take your family to this movie and enjoy it like that. But for movie lovers, for people like us that spend way too much time hyper fixating on little details and movie making aspects, you can appreciate the story that's being told. You can appreciate crazy good performances from Anthony Ramos. You can appreciate crazy good performances from his little brother, who is so great in this movie for being that young. I know child actors get a lot of hate nowadays. If you're not perfect, you get slammed on Twitter, you get slammed on the internet, but man, was this kid so good. The actor's name is Dean Scott Vasquez, and he's only been in 4 other movies. So I'm excited to follow him in this journey, see him be in more projects, and just, you know, grow up with him and see what other films he's in, because he was damn good in this. we also have the voice actress for Rio Morales in this movie, which means in the span of a week, she's had 2 major movies come out that are probably gonna crush it at the box office. So Dean Scott Vasquez, Luna Lauren Velez, and Anthony Ramos, major MVPs in this movie, but you know who stole the show for me? It was Mirage. He was so funny, man. I found myself dying laughing multiple times in this movie. He was such a great addition. Again, with the contrast of him, Bumblebee, and Optimus Prime, it just made the movie feel so nice and refreshing. The pacing was great. Obviously, the action sequences are great, and the overall underlying story is great as well. Like I said, my only grievances is the basic, tropey action movie stuff that they use in here, such as some performances. Dominique Fishback, not to say that she's a horrible actress. I'm not coming at her in any way possible. She just had nothing to do in this movie. And I say nothing to do, she actually had quite a bit, but it just wasn't fleshed out the way it should have been. But again, you run into that problem. You're dealing with CGI alien robot creatures, and you have to bring the humans into the plot some way, somehow. And while Anthony Ramos was an amazing addition to this, and while he absolutely killed it, you could kind of see those problems happening with his character too. Dominique Fishback gets the butt end of that stick, and so there's a lot of moments where it feels like, hey, we need a human character in here. We need to fit them into the plot somehow, make them do something important. But like, dang, we haven't utilized them that much throughout the movie. They've just kind of been a background character. Let's give them something cool to do at the end. Let's give them something important to do. And so it just comes off like that. And there was even moments like that with Anthony Ramos. As I said, he just had a lot more on his plate. He had a lot more to do in this movie than Dominique Fishback. Other than that, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie at all. I had a ton of fun. I was even excited for it going into this movie. And so, other than a few little criticisms that we were set to expect, based off enjoyment, just pure fun enjoyment, I would give this movie like an 80, somewhere around the low 80s. But doing this movie review, thinking critically of this movie, I gotta give it a 68 out of 100, which still is not terrible at all. It falls as, I think, my 22nd favorite movie of the year. I'll have that right here. Shout out to the Letterboxd. Aiden H Talks, go follow it, shameless plug. It falls as my 22nd favorite movie of the year. Not bad at all. Great step for this franchise, coming off of Bumblebee, which is possibly the best in the entire Transformers franchise, coming into this movie and what we set up going forward. I don't know much about it. I had to sit and talk with my movie buddy after leaving the theater, but it's exciting, man, and it's a step in the right direction, and that's all we can ask out of these movies. I had a ton of fun, besides a little bit of criticisms and overall just feelings in the movie. Overall, it was very fun. I loved it. Great popcorn movie with a great story to tell as well. It doesn't leave that out one bit. What did you think about Transformers Rise of the Beasts? Where does it rank compared to all of the other Transformers movies? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments down below. Check out the podcast. Spider-Verse episode just dropped. It was a great one. It's 2.5 hours long, but if you want to throw those in while you're at work or while you're on a drive, I'd appreciate it immensely. Check the link tree in the bio. Everything will be down there. And without further ado, that's my review. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.